everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you're new here, I unbox subscription boxes and more. Today I have a new subscription to my channel called History by Mail, and each month you get letters that are replicas of historical documents, and they have a couple of different subscriptions we can talk about as we go along. I'm very happy to say that I got this free to review, and I couldn't be more excited. You guys know I love history and educational subscriptions. So without further ado, just keep in mind I've got a 10% discount link for you guys to save 10%. Let's get into this, and if you'd like to see what the letters look like, then please stay tuned. Wow, I am so excited. They sent me 5 examples of different letters. So basically each month you would get a different letter with a certain historical event on them, and some of the examples that they sent me to show you guys today is a letter from Annie Oakley to President McKinley in 1898, Eisenhower's Order of the Day and sketch of a D-Day platoon leader in 1944, a police report, bus diagram, and fingerprint card from Rosa Parks' arrest in 1955, a World War I rationing card and nursery rhyme, yikes, that's an interesting combination, in 1917 and 1918 respectively, and check for the purchase of Alaska in 1868. We actually get to see what the check looks like from the Alaska purchase. That is incredible. So each month you would receive one of these envelopes that contains a replica of the historical document. 4 letters over 4 months explore a unifying theme. Additionally, each letter comes with a document explaining the content of the historical letter, including its author, recipient, and relevance to the events of the time. When necessary, transcripts are also provided for handwritten letters, because you might not be able to read the handwriting of all these famous historical people, right? So I am so excited for this. Let's just dive in. I'm really interested in the Annie Oakley one. Don't worry, I'm not going to read you all the letters, but for the ones that show like the documents and stuff, I definitely want to at least show you what the documents look like so you get an idea. So we'll just go through and like the check for the Alaska purchase. I know you guys want to see that, right? I'm interested in all of these. Annie Oakley has always fascinated me, but I know that was I think one of their first ones, so I'm going to try to find something maybe that you haven't seen. But I love that we get a first look into, seriously guys, a letter from Annie Oakley and a former president, but I know a lot of people are into true crime as well, right? So police report and bus diagram from Rosa Parks' arrest in 1955. I think we should open this one. Here's her logo right here if you haven't seen it. History by Mail. You can find them on, I know on Instagram and probably Facebook as well. And of course they have their website. Let's get into this. I am super excited. All right, so this is what a police report looked like in 1955. Of course, typed out and maybe typewriter, right? But it was in front of the Empire Theater, if you guys remember, on Montgomery Street. I don't know how much you remember of your U.S. history, but don't worry, I'm going to try to take pictures of the documents as well if my camera doesn't show them, because it's hard to hold up a folded piece of paper still to the camera. And of course, I'm going to read the details of the complaint just to give you an idea. We received a call upon arrival. The bus operator said he had a colored female sitting in the white section of the bus and would not move back. I don't know who that is. Maybe the officers. Yes, the officers, Day, with the last names of Day and Mixon, also saw her, and the bus operator signed a warrant for her. Rosa Parks of 63 Cleveland Court, it just says her address, was charged with Chapter 6, Section 11 of the Montgomery City Code. And I don't know why I said true crime earlier. I just wanted to point that out because this isn't obviously not a crime. It was back then, unfortunately. When you think about 1955, that was not that long ago. But you guys, we've got the coolest document on the back here. Is, well, if you ever wanted to know what Rosa Parks' fingerprints were like, here they are. And this I find super interesting. This is the diagram of the boss, and Rosa Parks was right there. So that's not even all the way in the back. I'm assuming this little, wait, this little arrow in, it's the entrance. So yeah, there she was, right there. Just such a lady of history, right? So this would be, in 1 month you would receive something like this, and then a letter that explains it. I think these fingerprints are super cool. I mean, we've all seen fingerprints before, but I never actually knew where she was in the boss exactly, like in a diagram form. So this letter talks about Rosa Parks herself, the Jim Crow laws, the bus incident, what actually happened, the Montgomery bus boycott, and the case Browder versus Gale, which was trying to, after her arrest, and her legacy. So I really want to keep reading all of this to you guys. I think the most interesting thing is, you know, you could look up Jim Crow laws if you weren't sure what the laws were back then, but the bus incident, that's not something that's maybe in detail quite as famous to all of us. So Jim Crow laws reserved the first 10 seats on Montgomery buses for white passengers. Colored quote-unquote sections were in the rear of the bus, even though more than 3/4 of Montgomery had bus riders that were black. Okay, so the first, I got that a little bit wrong. The first 10 seats were for white passengers, and she was obviously closer up than the front 10 seats. She was within the first 10 seats. So 1, 2, actually this might be the front of the bus. This is the front of the bus. I think, I'm sorry guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she was in the front of the bus there, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either way, depending on no matter which way the bus was, she was within the first 10 seats. So, as I would love to read more to you about this, if you don't know, I want to talk about her legacy on the back. Her refusal to give up her bus seat on that day in 1955 changed the world and earned her the title of the First Lady of Civil Rights. Her quiet protests sparked a successful boycott which captured the world's attention, raised awareness for the plight of African Americans, and made her an icon and symbol of the civil rights movement. So it says a lot more information. I mean, you guys, I can't wait to read the rest of these. All right, the purchase of Alaska in 1868. So guys, this is a replica of what they call a treasury warrant. At least what they did back then. It's like when a government has to transfer a large amount of money. It's obviously not just a check. So here's what that looks like. There's lots of stampings on it, but it's very intricate in detail. This is really, really cool. I'll try to see if my camera can get better pictures, but this is amazing. I can't read the amount of money. And of course, there's some signatures on the back. But each letter that you get will tell you what you receive in case you don't know what the document is. I mean, here it's fairly obvious. Okay, the money is here too. It's written here. The government, yeah, I told you that already. With the price of $7.2 million, America acquired nearly 600,000 square miles of territory for less than 2 cents per acre. I think they made the wrong decision to sell it, but it was the right choice for America to buy it. That's my opinion of this event. Not only does it give us a really good strategic naval position, or even Army, Navy, everything, Marine Corps position up in the far northwest over into the east, really. It's beautiful land. It's Alaska, guys. It's national park territory. It's, you know, it's an amazing state. there's so many good things that came to the U.S. because of Alaska. But anyway, so it talks about the early settlement of Alaska, the treaty with Russia that was made, the Alaskan statehood. Oh, this is interesting. From 1867, when Alaska transferred to America, until 1884, that's a long time, almost 20 years, Alaska was considered a U.S. military district known as the Department of Alaska and was controlled by the federal government. And then from 1884 to 1912, the area became known as the District of Alaska and had its own government with a judicial and legal system. Officials were appointed by the federal government, and the capital moved from Sitka to Juneau. In 1912, Alaska became incorporated as a U.S. territory with the elected legislature. Still, the federal government maintained control over natural resources, and the president appointed the governor of Alaska, the first one, James Wickersham. Wow. Alaska's delegate to Congress proposed the first Alaskan statehood bill in 1916, but it would take over 4 decades to realize the statehood. I didn't realize it took that long for Alaska to become a state, but that is crazy. They were finally approved as a statehood on July 7th, 1958. And became the 49th state in January 3rd, 1959. That is, I did not know that we owned it so much. We as the U.S. American owned it. Wow. That long before it became a state. But that's the way it worked back then. So if you were to receive this one, then these would be the items that you would receive. Maybe let's do, what do you guys think? One more? All right, it turns out I had to show you the Annie Oakley one. It's definitely one of the more flashy subscriptions. There was more to it. So this is also a good example of a letter that we've got a transcript of because, look at the handwriting. But this was a replica of the letter that Annie Oakley sent to President McKinley. And, it's dated and everything. This is all her. And this was in her, entertainment days. You can tell she's being advertised here. She presented around the world, not just in the U.S., which I didn't realize. She was in London in 1887, Paris 1889, horticultural exhibition in London 1892, and the World's Fair Chicago 1893. For 11 years next to Buffalo Bill, the attractions were the Wild West. Miss Oakley has appeared before all the royalty and nobility of Europe, including their R.H. the Prince and Princess of Wales, before whom she has given fine exhibitions. So here's her letter and what it looks like. And this is what it says. It says, Honorable William McKinley, President. Dear Sir, I, for one, feel confident that your good judgment will carry America safely through without war. But in case of such an event, I am ready to place a company of 50 lady sharpshooters at your disposal. Every one of them will be an American, and they will all furnish their own arms and ammunition, will be of little, if any, expense to the government. Yours truly, Annie Oakley. And of course, she's talking about when America was heading into the Spanish-American War. There's a whole paragraph on that. Ultimately, her offer was immediately declined because women were not allowed to fight in the military. But she was offering up her services to the little to no cost. And here's a whole bunch of information on Annie Oakley. It's just really fascinating stuff, you guys. And you basically just, the top part tells you what you have, the basic synopsis of what's going on. I think this is a really cool subscription. Yes, so I was just reading on their website before I started this enveloping. It's become a new phrase of mine, unboxing. That some of the category examples are historic inventions. I would really love to see some of those. American wars and foreign diplomacy. So we've obviously gotten some American wars, maybe, but then we also have some U.S. history. So we got a mix of themes, which is pretty cool. I'd like to see more, but obviously this is great for history buffs, whether you like to learn history yourself or you have a relative who's into history. Anybody homeschooling, this is a fantastic learning experience. Just keepsake items if you're collecting and you're into history. Anything like that. And this is a great gift. It's $7 a month for the subscription. They also come in 6-month and 1-year subscriptions. It's $76 for the entire year. They do have a US holiday subscription, so you can get information about every holiday that comes by. I mean, and that is fascinating too. I've seen that unboxed as well. And that one, I saw 2 prices for it. It was $76. I think it recently may have gone up to $83 for the year, around there. But this has been, yeah, $84 a year-long subscription. But you can also pay it in installments, usually, depending on how, if you've got that option with Shop Pay or something like that. I mean, this subscription has been seen on the History Channel, Reader's Digest, the CNN, Forbes, I mean, you name it, a lot of famous places. And they also sell, as individual products, different historical cartoon packs, which I love. I mean, think like the New Yorker, with the daily historical cartoons. I've always loved looking at historical cartoons. So, again, it's $7 a month or $76 for the year, and you get technically 3 themes a year when you think about it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the description box below. If you're interested, my link will save you 10% on your first subscription, even if you want to try it out for 6 months. Using the 10% would be a great discount. So let me know what you think, guys, of the subscription. I hope I did. I know I made it longer than a lot of other influencers do. Surprise, surprise. But I really like to share a variety with you guys, and I think we got a little bit taste of everything from what I shared. So if you haven't already, please just give this video a thumbs up. It helps me, it helps my channel. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.